What is up, YouTube? Today, we're taking a look at the best revised AUG attachments and calibrations in Delta Force. A lot of people have asked for another AUG build due to how often they find themselves dying instantly by it. When you look at the stats, it's not obvious why this happens, since the AUG has a fire rate of 679 rounds per minute and only does 20 damage to the body. This gives it one of the slowest times to kill of any rifle, sitting at 353 milliseconds. But it has one upside, and that is the absolutely insane headshot damage of 50 damage per headshot. This means that if you land 2 headshots in a row, the time to kill is just 88 milliseconds. And that's why it feels like you're getting demolished by the AUG. So for this revisit, I have made a build that has less recoil than my previous AUG builds, with about the same handling and way less visual recoil. This makes it easier than ever to land those headshots, while keeping the handling good enough to do everything that you could wish for at medium ranges. This weapon rewards skill, and if you learn how to use it, you can get wild with it. And with all that said, let's get into the attachments. First, we begin with an AUG that has absolutely nothing on it, and let's start with the barrel, where we put on the AUG Dawn Zero Integrally Suppressed Barrel. I believe it was Yunha on my AUG stream that mentioned that this was the meta for it, and I have to agree. It increases your range, your control, your stability, while barely hurting your handling. Our other option here is the Elite Bipod Barrel, but it does not work as well because of the hard hit on the handling that it takes. So, the Integrally Suppressed Barrel will be the one for today. That does mean that we get rid of our muzzle device, and thankfully the barrel stats make up for that. Therefore, let's move on to the foregrip, where we scroll all the way down and we put on the folding grip for that extra stability, which we are going to need to decrease that visual recoil. It will also give us a little bit of handling, but not much. We really just care about the visual recoil here, so let's put it on. Next, on all 3 rails, we put on the Ranger handguard panel. This will help our control equally on the vertical and the horizontal recoil, and given that this weapon already doesn't have that much recoil, this is going to be perfect. On the optic, you can put on anything that you want. Any singular optic is good. I just prefer going for something that is already raised, just like in every other one of my builds, so that nothing gets on the way. No iron sights or anything like that will be blocking your view if you choose something that is already raised. Therefore, I will be going for the Cobra accuracy sight, but again, you can pick whatever you want here. Now, the AUG comes with a 30 round magazine, which is definitely not enough, so therefore, let's change it up to a 60 round magazine, and it will be hurting our handling a lot. I do wish that they had a 45 round magazine to make the weapon even better, but we can't do that, so let's put on the 60 round mag. For the cheek pad, we put on the only thing available. This just helps us, so there's no point in not putting it on. And on the stock, it's the same idea. We only have the stock pad, and it helps our handling and control, so let's put it on. There's no reason not to. Now, this is already the finished build. There's not that many attachments given that it is a bullpup weapon, so let's go take a look at the detailed stats before we do any of the calibration, so you can see what will be changing. The damage fall off multiplier has been helped a little bit to make sure that we maintain our damage at higher ranges, but this is not going to change due to the calibration, so let's move on to the control, where you can see that we have already gotten rid of about 30% of the recoil on the weapon. Our firing stability is actually really good. That means that we're not going to deviate very much from the given pattern, so you won't get too much of that weird bounce that you can't really control. But we are going to improve this with the calibration, so let's move on now to the handling, where you can see that our current ADS speed is not as low as we wish it could be. But this is the type of weapon that you don't want to use at very short ranges. You only want to use this past like 30 meters, maybe up to about 100 meters. You just definitely want to be within the mid ranges and up. Therefore, your ADS speed is not going to be a huge deal, and our current ADS movement speed is not going to be a huge deal either. But regardless, we are still going to be improving both of these given the calibration, so that we can make sure that we can put up a fight even in those close ranges. Moving on to the stability, this is really what determines what our visual recoil is going to be. It's the current lens stability while firing. That means that you will have a much easier time figuring out where the enemies are, because your camera is not going to be shaking as much, and what you need to do to control your recoil in the middle of your pattern. Therefore, we actually want this really low, and 0.3x is very good for this type of weapon because it already doesn't have that much recoil. The current breath sway range is going to change a little bit due to the calibration, and so is the movement stability, but because these numbers are already so good, hurting them just a little bit with the calibration won't be a big deal, given that you're going to get much more better stats like better control, control as the trade-off. So now let's move on to the calibration so that we can make the weapon even better. Starting off with the barrel, we move the weight limit all the way down to the minimum here for the extra ADS movement speed. You could, if you really want, keep the firing stability or make it even higher by moving the weight limit all the way up to the maximum, but I do prefer the ADS movement speed because the firing stability on this weapon is not as necessary as with other weapons. Then on the length, we move that all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS speed, just because we're getting a little bit too close to that 400 milliseconds mark, and I do think that having faster ADS times is better. We're just dropping some muzzle velocity, but because of the barrel that we chose, this is pretty much going to take us to the default muzzle velocity, which is already pretty good. Moving on to the foregrip, we only really get one option here, and that is to move the thickness, which will move all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS movement speed. Stability when moving is really not a big deal, so it's really not a problem to sacrifice that to get even better ADS movement speed. Moving on to the cheek pad now, where all we do is move the weight limit all the way to the maximum for the extra control, and we leave the thickness at the default because we actually want both firing stability and hipfire aim speed. If you have a preference, if you want to be a little bit faster, then go for the hipfire aim speed by moving the thickness down, or if you want even more firing stability, then move it all the way up to the maximum. But I do think that the default, just keeping it right in the center, is the best idea here for the AUG. That is because when we move on to the stock, we do the same thing where we move the weight limit all the way to the maximum, and the thickness controls the exact same stats. So you could either want more firing stability, or you could want more hipfire aim speed, and that's really up to you, but I do think that the default is the best idea for this one also, because we actually want both of those stats. And last but not least, on the optic, we just move the eye relief all the way down to the minimum so that you can see as much as possible inside of your optics window. So now let me show you the stats after all of that calibration so you can see exactly what changed. The damage fall off multiplier is absolutely the same, so we move on to the control, and you can see now that we have definitely gotten rid of around 38% of the recoil, and this weapon is not already very high on recoil. Therefore, this decrease makes it a lot easier for us to just pull down ever so slightly and keep all your shots on target. Meanwhile, at the same time, our handling has gotten better, and you will be able to dodge shots by strafing a little bit faster than before, and the current ADS speed is also just a little bit faster than before, which is very nice to have. Last but not least, the stability has not changed that much, as I said, only the breath sway range and the current movement stability, but if you look at the final numbers, these are extremely good anyways. We have done this to get better ADS movement speed and better control, so it's definitely worth it, especially since our current lens stability while firing does not change at all, which is the stat that matters when we're talking about visual recoil. And now that you know the stats and we have dialed in our attachments and calibrations, let's hop into the firing range to see how it handles. This first magazine, I'm not going to control any of the recoil so that you can see what it naturally does as I just move my mouse away from the mousepad entirely. As you can see, it kind of goes up and right and then up and left, but it continues in a diagonal pattern, so it makes it really easy to control. For the second magazine, I'm going to control that recoil without holding any of my breath at all, trying to keep it all as nice and tightly grouped as possible, and that was without holding my breath. Look how easy that was there. And now for the final magazine, I am going to be holding my breath so you can see how much easier it becomes to actually control that recoil. I'm just going to keep everything nice and tight within that grouping just like before. And holding my breath, you can see it's just easier. The AUG is extremely good when used correctly. It has a recoil pattern that is extremely easy to follow and has an insane headshot multiplier. Just make sure that you're not caught in close quarters with it, otherwise you better hope you get some headshots in. And now that we have the build locked in, let's jump into a 109 kill game in Ascension to see the setup in action. Enjoy! We're in Ascension today with the AUG playing as Luna. Let's see what we can do here. Apparently I can get a triple and then die. They got a whole squad up there, alright. As I was saying, we're in Ascension with the AUG playing as Luna. Let's see what we can do against these guys. The match had already started. Sadly, they had already taken the A point. That guy jumped down and he didn't even look my way. Hell yeah, brother. Get you two. You three. There's another one up here somewhere. Let me just wait for that to end. I know there's one more Luna. Yep, there she is. Gotcha. Gotta go for the headshots. Notice how I'm really trying to go for headshots here today. There's one, alright, nice little headshot. Notice how I am going for the headshots on this one, because you absolutely need to with the AUG. And we do have the 60 round magazine, so I don't really need to reload as often as I would with other weapons. Got him. There's one more. Yep. And who? Oh, with a VSS I see. You've been laying down there the whole time, haven't you? Gotcha. What did you expect, huh? I love that little spot for the respawn beacons. I can stay over here without them really knowing where I'm at. It's a great spot, to be honest. Notice how little recoil this has, and you can really go for some extremely long-range shots that you wouldn't be able to go for with most other weapons. Gotcha. 55 meters is pretty much nothing for this weapon. Super easy to hit these shots. Let's get you first, actually. Stop moving, though. Alright, well, I guess if they move that much. Alright, I don't know what he was doing. Let's get you too. No, behind it! This is such a beautiful spot for my recon beacon. Or I guess for my respawn beacon, not recon beacon. And this is why. They just don't know what to do about me over here. They can't handle this. There's so many of them over there, actually. Let's just keep getting kills. We're already at 29. This is beautiful. I'm glad that we can maybe help out my team bring it back, because they captured A extremely quickly. They're capturing B too, so let's try to go for B1 right now. And I definitely heard somebody up here. Yep, there we go. Perfect, perfect. Get you too. To talk a little bit more about the weapon, we do have 20 damage per shot on this thing. It's not the best thing ever, but if you hit that one headshot is all it takes. And your time to kill goes from 353 milliseconds to 265 milliseconds, which is actually pretty reasonable for an AR. Let's go left. Look at this guy. Yes, I'm glad he didn't see me until now. Getting B1, getting B1. Oh, no. No. Maybe a bad time to reload, actually. I was able to get B1, though. That does mean that we can get rid of a couple more tickets. Oh, no way she missed. Oh, yes. Let's go. They don't know. They still don't know where my respawn beacon is. This is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, that B1 capture worked out really well for us. Good job, team. What the... Okay, I think he heard me, but he thought that I was a teammate, because why would there be an enemy here right now? That guy doesn't know. He doesn't know. This is my hill. I'm the king of it. Not even playing that game mode. Let's get you too. Okay, never mind. Okay, I couldn't wait for the grenade to blow up. I just had to shoot him, I guess. The muzzle velocity is definitely good enough to be able to do stuff like that. But, as I said, the time to kill is 353 milliseconds if you hit all body shots, so therefore, she was able to beat me with a QCQ. Oh no, I think he knows where my recon beacon is now. Gotta be careful. I know he's not looking this way, so it's fine. I'm just gonna ignore him. Goodbye, tank. Alright, they're capturing B2. Let's get rid of a couple more tickets here before they capture it. They should feel safe, so I should be able to get a couple. Alright, well, let's just get points now. Hey. Yes, that's the muzzle velocity for you. Oh, do I let you cross? Yes, I do let you cross. Damn, thought I had him. This is why Luna is crazy. That Volt arrow is just so good. Let's try to get you. You know what? Hold on. Grenade. What are you gonna do when I throw this at you, huh? Now what? Gotcha. There you go. She didn't know what to do. Okay, hold on. They see me. Stop. Truce. Psych as hell, no truce, let's go. Oh, that is so rude. That arrow's gonna kill me. Oh my god, what did I just see? Nothing. Because I got blinded by this guy. Nope, not gonna do that. Another one? Is there gonna be another one jumping or what? I know you want to. I will wait for you. I will get you. I will find you. I will haunt you. There's a lot of them coming from this side. And I only know because they killed me. Ow. Let's get you. And you. There we go. That's where the 60-rounder comes in. I would not have been able to do that with a 30-rounder. Let's push forward a little bit. Maybe not the best idea with the AUG, but you know what? If it works, it works. Whoa, buddy. That's kind of scary. All right, mark them for death, hopefully. They're probably going to get D1 now, though. Oh, there's somebody going to rush me right now with the 3 lasers. How many lasers? That's too many. Nice little headshot. 2 headshots, like exactly what you want for it. You just saw there how quickly I could kill them. This is an 88 millisecond kill. If you get those 2 headshots, come out again. Yeah. Okay, one more time. Come out again now. From the left, please. This guy's not popping out. Oh, man. You know what? Let me do this. Oh, no. Damn, I should have stared at him. I wanted to see the ragdoll. What? Whoever that was... Your mom's a hoe. I think it was you too, wasn't it? Look at that. 100 meters controlling an AUG is so easy, actually. It's kind of crazy. He's laying down. Good. Just how I like them. Oh. Okay, back up. I have my guided missile so ready. I'm itching to throw it. But I really want to wait until D1 is actually in trouble. that way. Oh no, stop. Oh, what the? Let's get you. On the enemy screen, getting 2 headshots like that must look insane because that death is pretty much instant. Hello. The guy actually was not expecting me. Okay, that's not a good idea, huh? Yes, thank you, teammate. What a savior. My hero. That's the muzzle velocity right there of 546 milliseconds. Not milliseconds, meters per second. It makes it so that you don't really have to lead them as much as you would think you would. Oh, can I steal that? I stole it. Let's go. I don't even care. Yes. Oh my god. The thing is, I don't care about vehicles, but every single time that I can steal one, I will. I literally... Can you tell that I don't know how to drive this thing? I need to get out of this thing. Oh no, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get out. I swear. Here, somebody else take this. I'm gonna get out of that thing. Okay, what just happened to my aim? As soon as I switched to... This is why I don't use vehicles. Oh my goodness. What did I just encounter? I need to run. That's what I need to do. I got 8 rounds left. Can you imagine if I had a 30-round magazine? Would have been dead meat right there. Let's just throw this. I know there's people there. Gotta get the medic. Oh, there's 2 medics, actually. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Yes, gotta keep running this way. Oh, there's too many. That was almost good. Yes. Let's go. Do I drop my guided missile? Now, my teammate actually just got a single kill with that guided missile, and I have this feeling that that's exactly how my guided missile would go if I was to use one right now. So let me wait a little bit. Let's see if the tower, if they aim that at the tower. So if they do, then I shall wait. Oh my god, she just showed up right in front of my bullets already. My bullets are already on the way. Oh, I should probably drop mine, huh? No! My teammate took it. Oh no! They've taken it! Hit the spire, please. I'm not gonna be able to use mine. Let's get him from behind still, though. Still can't give up these kills. That's 106 kills without any guided missile. That was the AUG for you. It really rewards skill. Just make sure to go for those headshots, those beautiful headshots. Now in the comments down below, let me know what you thought of this new AUG build and if you have a way to improve it even more. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. AuxOwl out.